Hello, 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 world. Hello, Zion. Spence Easy coming at you again on this beautiful Sunday right here. All right. So I do have a couple of slides, and I'll end up with some scripture reading. Right. So let's get to them. The slides, I mean, first. So this is why they're interested in whatever we're up to. Right. This is why we have wealth. Some engineers, man, and this something. Like I said, he came in hot with the Bitcoin and he swindled some people, him and his wife, and now they are trying to act all righteous and stuff. All of this bad publicity, yeah, right? We were here when they were not even reporting anything, right? When they were focused, their entire operation was focused on Tanzania. They were not saying anything about what was happening in Kenya, right? Literally. And this is just a trend and a well-known secret, right? That actually these people pay, right? There are governments out there that actually pay for positive publicity. So we gotta be really, really careful when we are dealing, right? It's either they are trying to entice people, right? So they shower people with praises and publishing and all of this, right? And the other thing is that, of course, it's their person, right? And that's really hard to discern, right? Sometimes, anyway. But again, you shall know them by their fruits, and I think that also applies here, right? So, yeah, their target is Kenya, right? Every other day they have to keep that negativity going. I just thought I don't know what my man's was contemplating, right? Where is this America? Nam wasn't right, and they know it. Y'all know it. So, is this I don't know, the telescope that he used to observe the supposed planets and whatever? How much magnification does it have? Right? That's what I'm interested. That's what I'm interested in, right? How much magnification was he able to achieve? Right? And take that magnification that he possesses and then compile it, or rather compare it to the data that he corrected supposedly about the heavenly bodies. That's why you'll find out that the church back then had tiny spine, because it knew the truth, but it was a new world forming, the world that we are living in today. Netanyahu says this is actually a sick child. He has some sort of disease. Quite an interesting invention, right? Truly, all terrain. The tech bros, man. The tech bros have to get on anything that is worth anything, as we are gonna see. Yeah, of course, he has to come over there and basically make you complicit of his protection, because this is what is happening here right now at this point, right? Even this talk about how are we going to get the Russian money and all of this, they are trying to get you complicit to a sin. And if you do, then bad stuff happened to you. Let's just say that. Okay? Yeah, the most controversial feature, quote unquote, called co-pilot. The only difference they did after pulling the plug the last time is that they just basically turned it off by default. That's the that's the different move they did. But the app still works the same, right? And of course, security experts have given warnings and issues like, okay, you are having this AI compile everything about whatever this guy is doing in his machine. Clandestine-wise, this app, things like this is the type of stuff that Facebook pulls, you know? I've used 3 mobile phones over the past 2 years, right? And all of them had one big problem. You could not uninstall Facebook. You could not uninstall. It is literally installed in the root. It's like part of the OS. This surveillance software is part of the OS. You know, I'm asking myself now, what type of underground abominable deal did these people make? It's a thing of concern as a consumer, personally. Word.
Take a look at this beautiful picture. The freshman batch of newly elected Republicans in the United States. All of them on a trip to Israel. Normal people like you and me, when we join a company, we get sent to induction. We learn about the values of the company. We learn about the mission and vision of the company. They teach us how to do our job. These Republicans from the US, they get to go to Israel because that's where they learn what their job is going to be. They learn the 10 Commandments. You know, Israel has a right to defend itself, the only democracy in the Middle East. You get the picture. The United States is the only and the dumbest country in the world where its representatives are sent to a different country for the induction program. Look at these people, looking so fresh with dreams in their eyes, sitting there with a war criminal, with literally the worst human being alive on planet Earth right now. I don't know if I've ever said that Americans are dumb, but I'll say it now. Americans are dumb as shit. These are the people you voted for. And what are they doing in a different country? Taking directions from a genocidal psychopath. How stupid do you have to be? Take a look at this beautiful picture.
It's something that doesn't sit right.
Fair use disclaimer. I got these videos from these people personally. I don't think they will have an issue with me sharing it, but again, fair use disclaimer.
With you.
I'm about to read you this word for word so you don't have to. This information is very researchable. Between 1502 and 1503, Caesar Borgia hired Leonardo da Vinci to be an architect and engineer, in which him and Leonardo da Vinci became intimate lovers in a homosexual relationship. Expressing his love for Caesar, Leonardo painted pictures of him. Caesar's father, Rodrigo Borgia, who later became Pope Alexander VI, under the authority of the Catholic Church elite, had his son's picture up as Jesus Christ in the Western world, and ordered every picture of a black Jesus destroyed. Caesar also had relations with his own sister Lucrezia, and killed his own brother Giovanni in 1497. And this is the man whom the Catholic Church gave their consent to allow his picture to be put up, and to be portrayed as Jesus Christ.
The issue is this, brothers and sisters, right? I have no issue with nobody. I have issues with ideas. These ideas within them lies. This is what I'm at war with. So do not take it personal. If I've not said it before, do not take it personal. I'm just asking a question. Is this a lie? or rather, what happened or what conspired? Is it true that they did indeed change the image of the Messiah just like it was prophesied that they would do, and put up another image, an abomination for the nations to worship? That is what I'm asking. And if you have a different opinion, right? A different opinion, because that's what we have right now, right? Please feel free. And if they knew that this is wrong, right? These newly righteous people, right? The ones that want to rectify the errors of the world, right? If they knew that this mistake was done, why aren't they doing anything to fix the thing? You know, that is the question that I'm asking here, right? And I'm of the stance that no matter how painful, how mind-boggling the truth is to apprehend, I will accept it as the truth. Right? That's only fair, I think, right? So why aren't they fixing this error, right? We can admit, okay, yes, it is an error. Then what are we going to do about it, right? And some individuals feel like they have to now play politics with the whole thing, right? Because that will cause a cascading unfolding of events that are rather uncomfortable for certain group of people that are really influential in this world, in the Western world. Really influential and really powerful. And to the Western world, they control everybody else with the complicity of the Western world. So these people, that synagogue of Satan over there, is just the image of what has occurred over the years, right? It is like the pinnacle of like the colonial project, so to speak, right? Because it is, you know, it is. Anyway, apparently the Yemen Prime Minister has been struck by an Israeli attack. Right, I'll have a question down the line. Turkey, I have big expectations from Turkey, but it has been under delivering, right? Every time now and then they come out with statements of, I don't know, abandoning Israel and this and that, you know. They just recently came out with that same statement, right? A few months ago they said the same thing. So what? The first time it wasn't genuine, or because we did? The records are out here. This is the embarrassment, right? And the operators are seeing it, right? They're calling it the axis of evil, right? These are the people that have designated themselves to be the one to basically assign titles as the axis of evil. What does it mean, the axis of evil? Evil needs to be defeated. Well, it is a failure on their part, right? They created Christianity so as it can collide with Muslims. And this whole mess that we are seeing today, it was all by design. That's a fact that we need, I think, to also address, right? Here we have been talking about the plans of the evil ones, right? The plans of the evil ones, and how basically we avoided them, or rather how to avoid them. Right? So all of this is by design. They have planned all of these things. And now here we are, the axis of evil. The records exist, don't you worry. We know all of them, all of these accomplices, right? But they're hoping that before we get to them, the world turns to dust, basically. They're not going to be the one to turn it to dust. The very mention of the name, it invokes anger and conflict. Right? The invocation of the name. Right? I hope you have a proper Mexican over there. Or else, yeah, buckle up. She's the one to call the other one a predator. This is them giving themselves that righteousness badge, right? If you know what I mean. They assign themselves as the moral standard of the world, right? So hence they feel like, yeah, we could point this guy to be evil, this axis to be axis of evil, this guy to be not so democratic, right? Another invention of theirs, just like religion, right? Democracy is there just to collide with other forms of leadership that exist and to dominate it. That's what it is, right? Somebody should be looking into this, right? These scams. I know this is not genuine, but again, they're using the credibility over there, right? These ones here. And Google is the one propagating them, This video here is about the story about what happened to the Polish and the Ukrainians. There's so much blood spilled over there, I can't even. Europeans, you gotta work harder to correct the course of your future. That's my opinion, right? That's my opinion, right? In my opinion, to the Japanese also, I think they should stop running. They should stop running to what they did in China. They should stop running, right? They should stop running and find a way to even up the situation, right? Again, for such a big, injustice. I don't know what one can do, right? So do what can be done. Let's just say that. Do what can be done. This is my advice. Right? Even though I can understand why, right? Most people don't talk about it. They only talk about the brutality of the Japanese, and we are meant to believe, or rather led to believe, that it was rather unprovoked. We all know the narrative, right? Was it unprovoked? And by the data that I have, somebody was endangering their lives. And that somebody being the United States. But again, right now the world is so upside down. Japan has 2 strikes, major strikes. They were provoked to cause the World War, and then they were nuked. Right. And these people now are buddies, you know. Do make peace. That's what I'll say. Make peace. Okay? If no effort is made, then it will come back one way or the other. It will. It will. And that has been the struggle between the Koreans, the Japanese, and the Chinese, right? From the same tribes. From the same tribes. A tribal war turned into a world war, turned into a, by design. So first, I think, acknowledge your colonial past. This is all, even the conflict, the border conflict about that holy site of the Indians by the Chinese and the Indians, right? That's a colonial thing. That's not the only place that they did that, right? Even Pakistan and India, it's a colonial conflict. You can go even further. Near Turkey, I've forgotten the countries, did the same thing. Gave promises that, okay, I'll give you this place, and went to the other side and did the same thing. I'll give you this place. So everybody's laying claim to that same place. And even people are so idiotic, I don't know what to call it. It is idiotic, right? If you look back at it, it is idiotic, right? Why did they not look at the perpetrator, the one that saw this discord, this discord between brothers here? Why? I wonder. I wonder. Even today, are we not good students of history? Is that what it is? Is it that we forget too quick? Is that what it is? Is that what I'm to believe? Then why are you fighting now? Why is there a low-key beef between y'all? If that is the past and you have moved on. You know what I mean? So give your next generation. You are the old. I've seen the Japanese government, mostly older people. And I would say the same thing with the Chinese. It's the same thing, even the Koreans, older people. You are the ones to make a better future for your young people. And you should not be selfish, stuck on the old ideas. That's my opinion. You should not be selfish. You should think about the future. How your children will interact with the world. You don't want them to carry your burdens. That's not what this world is going to be now. So now is the chance, now, at this particular time, when you, the elders, are in control. You have to set things right. Okay, and just like in any war, there are no victims, nor are there winners. It's a horrible disaster that should not happen again, right? And I'm seeing now the Americans using the Japanese because, let's be honest, they are vulnerable. Without the Americans, they can't protect themselves. So they can be given a security agreement, can be arranged for your protection. All the people on the table, you know that for a fact. So then, what is your future going to be? I'm interested, right? Don't forget, we have a vehicle, a human-made vehicle on Mars. Okay, we have a human-made vehicle on Mars. How did it make it there without refueling and all of these? No, you should not know, right? You just need to understand that ndio mjombi kama kawa. Okay, all you need to know is that we have a vehicle on Mars and it is falling apart. As you can see, it needs some repairs and stuff. Okay. These are the people that have designated themselves to be, you know, I don't know where this child is right now, you know. Of course, the Guardian, right? The headline and the picture do not match, but again, they have to axis of evil, you know. As usual, they are hoping, right? They are the ones, even between this conflict with the Taiwanese and the Chinese. It's you, the older people, that are making this worse every minute, every day. All right? There's still hope. There's still resistance in Vietnam over there. But again, they'll do anything to provoke a war, anything to get you killed. Now you choose. You choose. You choose how this plays out. That is your power. And if you say no, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? How about you make friendship with China right now, tomorrow? What are the Americans going to do? What? Invade you? And you think China is just going to stand by like that? Who told you that? I don't know. It's called geopolitics and stuff. We know them, and what are we going to do about them? That is, right? Raytheon, Lockheed, Boeing, General Dynamics, North Corp, Rheinmetall, they have forgotten some of them. But again, these are the big ones. This is our problem. And it seems that some political officials are not determined, or rather not interested in solving this situation. And are they powerful than us? Is that what it is? And you ask me what is at stake? Your life, your own life. That is what is at stake. Modern warfare is not pretty, brothers and sisters. It is not pretty. Okay? People keep lying, you know. That's the issue, you know. That's the issue. People keep lying. I have seen videos of First World War, Second, and it was bad, you know. But again, now it's worse. It's worse. So right now, it's not about your future that is in danger. No, you are in immediate danger. Because everything, if these people get their way, right, trying to avoid justice for what they did, right, this axis of evil, like the true axis of evil, which is some individuals, like I say, that wouldn't even fill up a football stadium, you know. You are their hands. If you refuse, it's over. Full stop. It's over. It's over. And I'm sitting here like mind boggled, if that's even a word, to why people just go along and to get along. Like, what? So, the synagogue of Satan and their army have violated every conduct of war there is in the book. It has gone after embassies, it has gone after presidential palaces, it has gone after hospitals, and they have just come out unscathed. Maybe that's why they keep doing this. Maybe that's why they keep doing this. The damage to them is minimal, it seems. I tell you this, until you have the balls to repay in kind, we are in for something very dark, right? And they can't stop. They can't. That's how they feel. You know, as usual, they have their normal programming. When they want to go in, they bomb, because they are weak and they are cowards. They bomb, and then they come in. That's what they did in Lebanon, that's what they did in Syria, that's what they, everywhere. That's their little technique right there. They have the media standing by, they have the Europeans and their wealth standing by, and everything is just going on and going on and going on. Like, what is this? Have we been pacified like this? Is it the case? Right? Look at this. They are boasting, literally, about destabilizing another country. They are not repentant of what happened in Libya. They are willing to do it again. Or what happened in Iraq for this case. Okay, you have to understand, these people are in rebellion. They are unrepentant. They do not feel like they need to repent for their atrocities across the world. They don't feel like that. No, they don't. They feel justified for some reason, unbeknownst to me. I'm not familiar with evil. I know of evil. But what motivates them is beyond me.
For monetizing water.
Fair use disclaimer for criticism and review purposes, of course, in this case. And we're going to see how human greed, right? It's not only the synagogue of Satan is a bigger entity, right? It's a bigger entity than the so-called Jews. It's a bigger entity than that. It's a machine of evil, right?
We just signed an agreement for water as a RWA, real world asset. I wish him the best. I'm not competing with anyone, but we're supporting him. We also have a strategic partnership. We don't sell and buy water. Tokenizing water? He's looking to tokenize water. Tokenize water? Yeah. But it will be backed in reserves in Texas. Okay, so there is an underlying asset. And that's why people are buying up those lands. Like Bill Gates, I've seen, is buying up everything in farmland. This is when I first met him, I was thinking about that. We'll see. Yeah. I think, look, his response to the concept of, the negative PR that could bring is that the reason we're in this mess is because of how people are looking at water as if it's free and that's it. It's not free.
Of course, people are the problem, right? We know better. We are billionaires. We know better what is good for you. Please, let him cook, right? as the new people say these days, right? Let him cook, right? Because he's going to tell us what the problem, right? So please tell us why you feel like you and the father of Elon Musk should real world asset water reserves of the world. Why?
It's costly. You need to clean it.
First of all, we pay for that cleaning by our taxes. We pay for that. It's not given to us for free, like you said. And water has been tokenized. What do you think units are? We buy units of water, units of electricity, everything like that in this evil world. But now they're not thinking about how we are gonna supply everybody with water. No, they are thinking about how can we monetize water. This is the difference. This is the greed that keeps getting us into trouble. Do you think I'm gonna die of thirst just because I don't have no freaking tokens? Are you kidding me? Okay.
You need to move it. I mean, it's shocking that you have places that are suffering from monsoon rain and also suffering of lack of water. In the same area,
They are suffering from lack of water because of the government. The government is not doing its job. Full stop. You idiot. Where do these people learn this stuff? Like, I wonder. Like, do they get taught by their parents? Do they learn it in universities or schools or what? How do they become such assholes? Where? You know? Like, where? Oh my God. People are flooding because there is no infrastructure to prevent flooding. Full stop. If people knew that they need to invest in systems that could avoid flooding, like how Japan, for instance, has invested in flooding. You know how much Japan has invested on flooding? It's something amazing. If that thing was applied in India, for instance, there would be no this noise that we are seeing today with the minor flood that has happened. This guy is not serious. He's not serious. Why? Because he goes unchallenged. Why? Because he's idolized. That's why. He's a god in this world that worships money. Well, we shall find out.
now, the idea is once water is monetized and becomes an established commodity like soybean, fuel oil, gold, diamonds, I guess.
Right? So it's gonna have some price fluctuations, so to speak. Right? So the bills are not gonna be monthly, right? What if the price rises in the middle of the month?
If you want to mention that, once that becomes a proper commodity, you will find from second world and third world countries the same protection they give to gold.
Why are they talking about the second? And we are the most blessed people, right? The future has always been here, right? We are the most best people, especially the Africans, even basically the global south. It's like drowning in water. It's drowning in water because of the climate, all of these conducive environments. So what are they going to do? They're going to start buying up water bodies wholesale. And some idiotic governments are going to sell these water reserves. And I don't know, take out debts on them. You know, just like the scam with the carbon trading and stuff.
Mines, diamond and gas fields, they will give the same security to pristine rivers and springs and water reserves. They will have the same security because that's their money now. Water. Elon Musk, Elon's father, is trying. I don't know why he's active, but he's looking to establish some kind of project on monetizing or tokenizing water. His words, not mine. He says, why allow the rain to come from the mountain, trickle down, and get lost in the sea? Yeah. Collect it at the bottom, treat it, sell it, it's your money. Yeah, but how do you sell a commodity that people assume is for free? Talk to all the water companies. How are they making money?
Again, fair use disclaimer. Look at the phrasing, right? They have to say Christian. No, that faith was not called Christian. It was first called Christian in Antioch as per the Bible. Yeah? So these people were Israelites. Come on, say it, Israelites, which makes those people over there phony. And whatever they are fighting for, phony. And that's why they do not want anybody to wake up to that fact, because it will be a disaster. Just imagine. It will be a disaster. Right? All of these racists, these KKK guys who call themselves Christian, they have to abandon Christianity now. Right? It's either that or admit the truth. And we are taking nothing less than the truth, brothers and sisters. We are taking nothing less than the truth. Full stop. Right? They are not very rare. They have been made to be rare by years of sacking and war and pillaging and plunder. But they are there. They exist. The Arabs know it. They found us over there in that land. They found us there. We invited them. Again, they colluded with the white people. War, boom, we got chased away. Right? And they got themselves out. They got invaded a couple times themselves also. Right? The Napoleon, right? The Romans, the Greek, right? This word is ridiculous. You know what I mean? This word is ridiculous. Okay, and the only cure, the beginning of that cure, the remedy, is the truth. Plain and simple. It is the truth. It is the truth. Which the synagogue of Satan has to come to terms with. All of those individuals who have been deceived. Right? Because I know for a fact there are individuals in there, in the Orthodox Jew community, they know the truth. You just have to tap a couple Google in there, into your YouTube, where you'll find the clips of these so-called rabbis telling you the entire truth. They'll tell you that we are converts. We did not, this is not our religion. We just took it from the Israelites and took something from the Babylonians, and boom. Now we have the freaking Talmud and stuff. Freaking cowards. Right? They're hell-bent on that Christian, right? They have to put Christian. No. The Israelites never called themselves Christians. Never. Some other groups, the converts, who received the faith, who received the truth, called themselves Christians. And if I'm even doubtful if that was even the word that they call themselves, right? Because the whole Jesus Christ thing is a mess that they do not tend to fix at all. So you're trying to tell me like Jesus Christ is Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew? Are you serious? Are you kidding me right now, brothers and sisters? Like, are we that uninterested to find the truth? Is that what it is? Again, these are the words for those people whose names is written in the book. Yeah, for those who have plugged in ears, yeah, this is just gonna fly by them like a nightmare or something, right? Here they are, planning another war, right? The biggest problem over there in the Middle East, there are two powers. After they are done with Iran, they are going after Turkey. If not Turkey, then Egypt. Meanwhile, they are going after Lebanon at the same time. They move like that. I'm shocked. Look at me. No, you can't see me, right? But I'm shocked. This is not the first time, brothers and sisters. Am I aware of Babylon politics much as the more than the Babylonians themselves, right? Biden said the same thing. The A era, right? The A era. I remember there were whole dialogues in the internet. What do you mean by A era and machine gun? What do you mean? There's a automatic rifle or assault rifle. So which is which? There was a whole debate basically, making even a pistol an assault weapon. It can be under the right arms. It's not about the weapon, but rather the person wielding that weapon. And they have to get that weapon away from you to weaken you. So here they are, right? Like we saw them going over there to the synagogue of Satan so as they can be given a briefing about how to handle you, right? If I'm not mistaken, last week or the other last week, I saw a video talking about the guy was raided and they found something like 80 guns or something, right? They have to put that sensationalism in, put sensation in, right? For us to scare people like, oh wow, there are people, oh this man, no. Meanwhile, not admitting that most of these so-called public shootouts that people have for no reason, most of them have been handled by civilians as per the statistics. I'm just saying. Hey, look at that. So let's get to the scriptures, right? I'm gonna paint a picture, right? The scripture is so precise. Right? So this is Isaiah 59, right? Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, right? Neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your God, right? And your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear. Plain and simple, right? For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies. Your tongue has muttered perverseness. None calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity, and they speak lies. They convene mischief, right? They call them summits, peace summits, and bring forth iniquity. Yeah, they more weapons, more sanctions, stealing Russian money type situation. These are the people that have, appointed themselves, right? And of course, never admit that the constitution of Ukraine literally segregates Ukrainians and basically bans the Orthodox Church, a whole church, right? This is the iniquity that we are talking about, right? They hatch cockatrice egg and weave the spider's web, right? They cook up ideas and they entrap people to enact these ideas, right? He that eateth their egg dieth. If you eat their lies, if you take their money, you will surely die. And that which is crushed breaketh into a viper. You become like them at the end of the day, right? Their web shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works, right? Their works are works of iniquity, and their acts of violence is in their hands, the so-called chosen people, right? Their feet run to evil and they make haste to shed innocent blood. I do not even need to expand on that, do I? Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. Wasting and destruction are their paths. Okay? It's describing a very, it is not talk about Muslims, it's not talk about Buddhists, it's not talk about, I don't know, wherever. It's talking about a certain characteristics of people who do not even meet the lowest standard, or they don't even reach that bar to be called a human. This is what this is about, brothers and sisters. That's why I say it's not about religion, it's not about, this is about truth and a lie. That's what brings all of these people together, a truth and a lie, right? Okay, destruction is their path. Their way of peace they know not, right? The way of peace they know not. These specific individuals, not whole nations, no. They're specific individuals that we have to root out of society, right? That have this sick idea in their heads, right? The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings, right? Instead of laws, they call them rules, right? International rules. They don't call international law, right? Because laws are written in stone. Rules are flexible to their convenience, just like what they're doing with UN and stuff like that. You know, people are just entertaining that garbage over there, you know, that embarrassment. You are taking ownership of that garbage. I am not involved. Me personally, I'm not involved, and I say this for the rest of us. Okay, you're not fooling nobody, basically. You're not fooling nobody, and we get it. Where does your funding come from, right? Where does your funding come from? That's the question, right? They have made their crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. Full stop. If you want to know peace, stop following them. Stop agreeing with them. Stop taking their money. Stop being yes men. Stop being puppets. And you shall know peace. If not, you shall know war. Okay? Because that's the opposite of peace, brothers and sisters. There's no neutral ground like most people are led to believe. No. There is no gray. Right? Just gray is just another word for bad. Right? Therefore, is judgment far from us? Neither doth justice overtake us. We wait for light, but behold, obscurity. For brightness, but we walk in darkness. What are we waiting for? Right? Right? I'm just rebuking some individuals, okay? I'm rebuking some individuals. Peoples of faith. Right? I don't believe I'm talking to animals here. If you're a human, you have to believe in something. Right? Am I speaking the truth here or what? Right? You're waiting for the light. What do you get? Obscurity. Even more darkness as the day go on. Why? Because you don't act and you don't turn on the light, and you just expect the thing to just go on by itself. Right? And you wait for better days, right? The brightness to come. But yet you walk in darkness. We grope for the wall like the blind. And we grove as if we had no eyes. We stumble at noonday as in the night. We are in a desolate place as dead men. You're not alive. You're not showing symptoms of being alive. Right? Caring, community, getting involved. You are dead. You are desolate. Spiritually, you are dead. What remains is just a husk, a vessel just walking around. because it is clear, because this is what that daylight means. Everything is clear and straightforward that these people are committing a genocide, full stop. Full stop. But yet, you are still looking for the war like you are like, you know? Like you don't see, like, okay, what did you say? Right? Footage upon footage just coming out, and you pretend like, you know what? I don't see nothing. Right? You are dead. You just don't know it. Right? We roar like bears and mourn souls like doves. We look for judgment, but there is none, for salvation, but it is far off from us. Is that the case? God is always there. You are sin. That is what is eating you alive right now. Is it a lie? Couldn't this thing be stopped tomorrow? Couldn't it be stopped tomorrow? Let's be honest. It could. Literally, it could. Okay, maybe some people are not ready to go as far as I am. Right? But if I have vessels, I have a worship, and I'm commanding an army, I'm going to march over. I'm going to give Netanyahu a call. I'm going to tell him this, nigga, I'm coming over there. And if you touch anything of mine, I will show you something. Plain and simple. I'm not going over there to attack no soldier, no nothing. These people need food and they need health care, full stop. And that's it. And that's what it means to be human. So all of these other things that people are trying to sell right now, oh, we're afraid of nukes. I do not care, brothers and sisters. I do not care. With this greed that these people are expressing, do you think they're going to nuke themselves? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? These people are high on life. That's why they want more land. What do you think they want to annihilate themselves? Who gave you that impression? Right? Okay. Again, you roar like bears and you mourn like doves, the Palestinian president over there. Right? The Egyptian president over there. When it's convenient, they roar like lions. But when it's not, they play dove. Oh, don't shoot our dam, don't do this and that. There's always a price. And that price comes in terms of you'll have no peace. You'll never know peace. Plain and simple. Okay? For our transgressions have multiplied before thee. Before who? You are God. And our sins testify against us that you do not stand for righteous. You just speak of righteousness, but you don't stand for righteousness. Full stop. Right? And our transgressions are with us. They are going to follow you. They are going to give you war. They are not going to give you peace. No transgression gives peace. Never. It's just the law of nature, if you want to call it. And as for our iniquities, we know them. You know exactly what you're supposed to do, but you don't do it. This is why the world is in shambles right now. Not that there is no creator or the Bible is a lie or nothing like that. No. Peoples are liars. Peoples are hypocrites. They are not willing to do what is necessary. Full stop. No argument, no political, no geopolitical, nothing. Right? I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Because I know even if we have a dialogue apart from this, what I'm reading right now, we are still going to reach the same conclusion. That in some way or the other, the people who had the power to do this did nothing. Okay? In transgressing and lying against the Lord and departing away from our God, speaking oppression and revolt. This is what they're doing, right? All over the world right now. This is what people be speaking about. Just snitching on God and just living the way and wondering, why is everything going so wrong? Like, why? You know, the man in at daylight, niggas like watching, looking blind, looking for a place to go. Eh? Conceiving and uttering from hearts words of falsehood. Falsehood. A judgment is turned away backward. Why is judgment turned back? Because you are the judges. You as a group, we as individuals, we are the judges. We are the end of our Creator on this earth. And everybody has to play their part. I have no army. I would have been gone there yesterday. Believe me. Believe me. Okay? Worried about death. Death has already occurred. Like, seriously. You want more death or want death to stop? That's like stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. And justice standeth afar off, right? These people in these war conflicts, they're like, they have no hope. In Sudan, 2 idiotic generals are fighting for power. That is why the people of Sudan are dying. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And people are letting this thing happen. There are people who have power to stop it, but they are letting it happen. There are reasons, again, like I said, unbeknownst to me, I can only speculate. But they know their sin. That's why it follows them, regardless if they keep it a secret from the whole world. It doesn't matter. For truth is fallen in the street, and iniquity cannot enter. Yeah, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. This is a fact. If you do not go against this, if you go against these people, you will become a prey. And that is just the reality. If you go over there, they're gonna attack you. But you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. It's just a matter of principle. Right? It's just like you have gone to a forest and there's a bush of thorns and there's the thing that you need, maybe water on the other side. Are you saying you're not gonna go through that thorn and you're gonna die of thirst? Is that what it is? I do not want to speculate that you have been paid or something or this and no. I'm just giving a general observation. I'm just giving a general observation. Okay? Of course, I myself know this for a fact. I am highly against these people and I've made myself to an extreme prey. They are hunting as hell, brothers and sisters. It's not a joke. But again, I'm here every day doing what I can, regardless of the pain. I've gone through some stuff, brothers and sisters. I've gone through some stuff. But I cannot stop, will not stop. Therefore, okay. Okay, where are we? Yeah, the truth faileth, right? The truth faileth. The truth is not liked anymore. It's not convenient for some of us. And of course, if you depart from evil, if you were in collusion with these people and you turn away, you become a prey. And that's just the reality. That's just the price of the game. Take one for the team, nigga. Okay? right? And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him, right? That there was no judgment. People were not doing nothing about nothing. Those who were able to do something about something. And he saw there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessors. Therefore his sin brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him. Right now he's talking about how this revolution began. Right? For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and a helmet of salvation upon his head, and he put on the garment of vengeance for clothing, and he was clad with a zeal as a cloak. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay fury for his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and the glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Right? They are planning evil, and of course, the standard has been risen. People are revolting, people are rebelling, people are fighting back. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion. Hello, Zion. That's why I say that. So we gotta work. And unto them turn from transgressions in Jacob, says the Lord. And for me, this is my covenant with them, says the Lord. My spirit is upon thee. My word which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed, says the Lord, from henceforth and forever. So yeah, Jacob's inheritance cannot be stolen. Sorry, Jewish people. But anyway, I see here it has almost been an hour already. Anyway, I don't post long videos like this. But let's start Monday with a bang. Prince Easy signing out. Love you. Bye.